Okay, welcome back to this is episode 3. Bigfoot, dogman, 411 missing people, cryptoid, mothman, skinwalker, some type of dinosauric bird, thunderbird that can swoop down and pick you up and take you away, portals, and any other type of thing you can think about. Thank you for tuning in. This is Stephen Evangelist. My company is Stephen Evangelist Realty. I help people own homes. I help people sell their houses. I've bought and sold a short sale home that I rented out for years. I've appraised numerous amounts of homes. I'm a real estate appraiser, but I'm not doing the appraisals right now throughout Charlotte and the surrounding areas. I've even sold property in the mountains, and I've even appraised property in the mountains, and even as far as the beach. Anyways, this is episode 3. Okay, so I grew up in Charlotte, North Carolina. And in the 70s, they had, or they still do, the camp down at Lake Wiley called Camp Thunderbird. And Camp Thunderbird, you learn how to, learned how to barefoot water ski. You learn how to go through the lifeguard saving, which I did. I became a lifeguard, actually, or certified, what have you. Sailing, they teach you how to sail, crafts, and teach you to have your discipline. Okay, so now they had at Camp Thunderbird the hiking and everything, and you could sign up and go out on these trips. Hiking. Linville Gorge, Shining Rock, Table Rock, Sliding Rock, all the different areas. You signed up and you could go. And I signed up for all of them because they were great. They put you in a van and you'd go hiking with the counselors. Well, I signed up for the Table Rock one, which I signed up for all of them. Actually, my counselor, I'm not going to mention his name because I'm going to guard I'm just not going to name any names, but counselor. Him and another female counselor, which I'm not going to name her name. And then there were friends of mine that I grew up with in Charlotte. They had gone to camp there and they signed up too. And then actually my girlfriend, I was like, sign up. I was like, and we'll be able to go hiking together and maybe get in each other's tent. And she's like, okay. So she did. So we all got in the van. We left Lake Wiley. And we drove to we drove up a gravel road on the backside of Table Rock Mountain. So we all get out at this gravel road. We're on the back side of Table Rock Mountain. And we hike in to these fire trails. That the fire trails are 20 to 30 or 40 feet wide. And there's a creek. I don't know if it's a creek or a little river. I'm going to call it a creek, but it's a flowing creek. I would imagine that if it was not rained much, that creek might not have been, or maybe it flows all the time. I don't know. So we hike about 3 or 4 miles, or a mile, 2 or 3 miles, mile or 2 or 3 miles, when not that far from the gravel road. We get out of the van. There's somebody driving the van. They take the van. The van goes and drives up to the very top of Table Rock, where it's going to meet us after 3 days. Or let's see, 1, 2, 3 days, or 2 or 3. It's a 2 or 3 day. On the third day, I believe, or second day. Let's see, 1, 2, third day, I believe it is. Right. Yeah. So you're right. The van picks us up on the third day. Because we don't stay the third day. Anyways, long story short, so we hike to the creek, and the counselor goes, "This is where we're going to be camping." We're like, okay. So we get our campsite ready and everything. All of us do. We get our tents up. We get the fire. And we have dinner and everything. And it gets dark. And the counselor decides that he's going to tell us some scary and creepy stories. And I'm like, well, I don't know if this is. It's like, shh. It's like, I don't know if this is good. It's like, shh. He's like, all right, I'm gonna tell these. I'm like, all right, I don't know if they're gonna. He's like, shh, because I didn't want my friend to listen to these. She was already freaked out. Right, that I grew up with, went to school with, was my girlfriend, or was, or wasn't, or was. She had other boyfriends, whatever, it didn't matter. She was my friend. And she was somebody I knew, and I was out there in the middle of nowhere, and my job was like, I'm going to help her. Or I guess we're girlfriend, boyfriend for now. I don't know. Whatever. So anyways, he goes on and starts talking about the red-eyed dick. Now, red-eyed dick, let me tell the red-eyed dick story. There were campers that were camping with the counselor, and they were all putting these sticks into the fireplace and doing their marshmallows and everything. And I don't even know if this is true, but it could be. Now that I've researched all this cryptoid crazy stuff, he could be cryptoid, bro. Anyways, one of them apparently accidentally stuck him in the eye, and it turned into a red eye, and he went crazy, and he apparently killed a couple of the campers, or this, that, the other, and ran off, and they couldn't find him. And to this day, he's supposed to be out in the woods or the wilderness, and he's looking to hunt people. His name is Red-Eye Dick. Right, real funny. I mean, not a good story, to tell somebody out in the middle of nowhere. Well, then he decides to start telling us about Bigfoot and Sasquatch. And I'm going, okay, well, I already know that he's real. It's like, nobody but believes him. It's like, I do. And and I'm going, yeah, oh yeah. I'm 1/4 Indian. I'm like, right, I'm Chippewa, or whatever. We were nomads. We destroyed everything. We didn't live. We got up in the morning, went down the warpath, destroyed people. That's what the Chippewa Indians did. They were warriors. Anyways, he starts talking about Bigfoot and all this, and I'm going, I've heard from chiefs, and be careful, don't ever go in that area. That's Sasquatch, it's Bigfoot. Don't ever go the other way. He starts going into Bigfoot. And all the campers, they're like, oh yeah, we know he's real too. So now we're all freaked out. After the Bigfoot story, he tells us to go, uh, my friend and I, and to go get some wood. And I'm like, okay. All right, we're going to go get wood now. So let's go. So we're holding hands at this point, right? She's like, hold my hand. It's like, hold my hand. Ah! Right. Holding hands. We walk up, I'm going to say approximately, now the fire trail's about 20 or 30 or 40 foot wide. It's completely, like, imagine a huge tractor or some type of machine that just like a road machine. I don't know what they use, but it clears it to where it's just like, but the rest to the right and left is all, that's the forest, the Pisgah National Forest, whatever forest we were in. God. So I'm like, all right, look, you know what? This looks like a tree up here. Now it's getting dark. It's dark now. And I tell her, all right, let me go up here. I'm going to grab some of this. I just say, now you've seen the trees that have like bark on them or whatever. It looks like you can just pull them off vines or whatever. Right. Oh my God. I walk up about 5, 6, 7 feet off the fire trail, and I start grabbing on what I think is a tree. It's not a tree. And I'm going, God, it's just not. And I'm like, and then all of a sudden, she goes, what is that? It's like, I don't, and I pat it. After I try to pull like the vine, it's not the vine I'm pulling on a Sasquatch's hair. This is insanity. Now listen to this. Thing's about 10 to 12 feet tall, or taller than that. The thing was huge. 10 to 12, easily. I'm pulling, I'm going, no, that's not a vine, and that's hair. It's like, wait a minute. I'm in the dark, and then all of a sudden I pat like this. I go like this. I don't know why I did that. And it goes, huh. It laughed at me because I guess I tickled it. Right? It's like, stop. It's like, my hair goes up on the back. Right. I back down. She grabs me. She goes, what is it? And I said, it's him. She's like, oh my God, it is. She goes, oh my God, it is. She must, I don't know, my friend instinct or whatever. So we go running back. And I think with whatever little bit wood we had, right? We go running back. And we come back into the campsite. And we are just like, we're like flushed. It's like, look, see my forehead right here? Let me see. Right here, see that? Right, some Indian, let me see. Okay, there, right there, okay. So we come back. Right, that's the glow. So like it in moonlight, right when the moon shines, right, you can go down the trail and I can right lead. It's like a flashlight. Okay. So anyways, we go back, and the counselor goes, "What?" It's like, "Here, we brought some wood." It's like, what? It's like, I don't want to say anything. I didn't want any of the other campers to know. And I told her, I said, right, don't tell anybody. Well, my friend, she got in her tent. She was freaked. And I was like, don't tell anybody. And he was like, what is it? What is it? And I was like, well, yeah, but we, we, uh, we saw him. It's like, what do you mean? It's like, well, we went up to get wood. It's like, he's like, tell me. It's like, well, we went up to get wood, and I thought I was grabbing bark off of a tree, and I actually patted him. Well, now, the counselor, remember now, he was trying to fake us all out and get us all freaked out and scared and shit. I guess for us to go to bed early. I don't know what his thinking was. All of a sudden, he decides he's going to go up there. It's up there on the right. It's like, I would not go up there. Oh, God. He goes up there and encounters the damn thing. Our counselor was very tall, had red hair, blue eyes. We hear this god-awful screech like you wouldn't hear. Sasquatch obviously did not like him. He comes running back to the camp area. This is when all the campers that are with us realize that, what's going on. It's like, well, after he said the story, we went up there, and then Stephen actually touched him. It's like, nuh-uh. It's like, yeah. And then backed up. He was like, huh. He went like, huh. And I was like, oh, God. And he had to have been 10 feet. And I'm pretty sure it was a male, because a female, I don't know, there was no breath. It was a male, about 10 to 12 feet tall, fully stout Sasquatch who lives there. And I'm sure there were several others in the area that we had no idea. Anyway, he comes back, the counselor comes back freaked out after we hear this whole thing. Everybody get in their tent and go to bed, and we'll be up early in the morning. We'll be leaving first thing. I'm thinking, damn, okay, he likes me and doesn't like him, so we all get in our tents. He gets in the tent with the female counselor. Somehow I end up with my friend. She snuck into my tent or something. She was so freaked out. We slept together, back to back, in a sleeping bag. What I call back to back. You put your backs back to back in a sleeping bag. Freaked out. Could hear things outside. Alright, so now all night long there's something down the creek. Now here's where I'm thinking this might have been dogman. Might not even been Sasquatch. This thing is howling and screaming all night long. To our neck, hairs coming up on our necks. About as soon as the break of dawn, we got up. We had a quick breakfast. We packed everything up, and we started proceeding on to the top of Table Rock from the back side of the fire trail. You're on the left side. You go in, you camp at the creek area, watch out for a Bigfoot or dogman, whoever is right there. Have your dinner, right, food. All right, get up in the morning. Then you hike and all the way out to the lake. You'll see Linville Lake to the left. You're going to go all the way to the far left, and then there's a trail. Comes all the way up the side of the ridge of Table Rock. You're not going straight up the cliff. You do go past the people that are apparently climbing it or some crazy thing, which I was like, if we're just going this way, why are they doing all that? And he was like, I don't know. So we all went around and we went right up, and you get on the ledge where you can look out and you'll see Linville River, Linville Gorge, all that. Well, we get up in the morning and we have our breakfast and everything. We start heading down the trail. And we get to the point where you go to the right to go up the ledge. One of our hikers, campers, or whatever that was with us, and I forget his name, and he was a nice person. I hope today he's alive and he's doing well. And if you're watching this, I'm Steven. I'm the one that chased after you to make sure you didn't. He tried to run away from, we were all hiking up. He tried to run down to the river. And the counselor was like, he'll never make it there. And even if he was to jump in, he would freeze to death. And I convinced him to come back. It's like, I'll catch him. And I really had to run hard to go get him. I finally got him to come back. I said, you'll never make it. Listen to me. And so he came back. God, he would have died. The girls were all upset because I had extra water. And they had run out of water. And I said, it's okay. I know where the spring is up here once we get up here to the top. I'd been to Table Rock before. I know where the spring is. I'll go get the spring water. So I let the girls when we got up to Table Rock, you go through these on the trail. The fire trail, you go down, you're on the left side, and then you go up to the right. You come up the ridge, because you don't have to come up the cliff. Come right up the ridge, then you get on this rock ledge. Takes you right to the trail. You go to the top of Table Rock where the picnic area is. So the girls drank all the water. We go to the picnic area. And I'm like, I'm going to go get us the water. Now, if you're at Table Rock, hiking guide tip. I like to give finance tips. I like to give hiking guide tips. Remember, always carry your beacon, your satellite phone, your cell phone. Compass. AK-47, 500 Magnum, apparently. If you're dealing with some type of, right, which apparently you're not killing a dogman or whatever. So anyways, if you're at Table Rock and you're walking up to Table Rock towards the very top of the mountain from the picnic area, from the parking area, or you're walking up to Table Rock, off to the left is going to be a side trail. You'll see it. And I think it even goes to the Appalachian Trail. And you're going to go off to the left there. You go off to the left about 100 yards. Then there'll be another turn to the left that'll start going down. Off to the right there is a little trail, and you'll see it. You take that, it takes you right to a spring that comes out of the mountain, and there's a little pond or pool there. Now, one of the campers came with me, and we spent a little bit longer, getting the water coming back, and I got in trouble for that because she decided to go swimming, and I was like, well, no, we got to get going here. You can't be, playing around in the spring, and but there's a spring up there on Table Rock. Everybody always runs out of water up there. And y'all need to know about that. And you're not supposed to swim in the spring, I don't think. There's a little concrete. I mean, it was okay. She was in there, but the hose comes out, and it comes right out of the mountain. It's spring water. It's delicious. It's good for you. So we did all that. We went to the top of Table Rock. We watched the sun come down. We came back down. We cooked out. The guy that tried to run off, he had calmed down, and then we got picked up, and we're taken home the next day. But it was I think the fact that the Sasquatch screamed and everything possibly put something into the guy's mind that ran off. Right, he couldn't take it anymore. And so I helped him. So that was Table Rock, episode 3. Now, episode 4 is coming up, which is going to be Lake Jocassee, where I was fishing with my girlfriend, and I had brought my little beagle, half Cocker Spaniel. She was black and white. I brought her with me, and we had an encounter. So episode 4 is coming up. I'm asking you to hit the subscribe button. I need 1,000 subscribers. I want to thank everybody that supported me for the ski championships. I have to get one more medal this year, and then I'm off to Snowmass for the championships to win. And I want to thank everybody. So episode 4 is coming up, which is going to be Lake Jocassee. And if you've had an encounter, you can call me at 704-458-1318. Your encounter is anonymous. You can email me, stevenevangelist@carolina.rr.com, and tell me about your adventure. And if you let me, I can put it on here as an anonymous episode. And we'll keep them coming in, and eventually we'll have a picture of Bigfoot, dogman, some type of portal, something paranormal of something, and we'll get it out here, and people will see it. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Lake Jocassee, which is in South Carolina, which is one of the most beautiful lakes. You can see to the bottom of it. Some of the world champion fish have been caught there, as far as bass, trout. It's just a gorgeous lake. It's so clear, you can just see to the bottom of it. It's something that if you haven't been there, you have got to go to Lake Jocassee. Toxawanee County, up near Cherokee. Okay. It's a man-made lake that was man-made for energy. Okay.